Thank you for tuning in to the OnBlast podcast, where as always we just like to give you our thoughts.
It's just my thoughts, man.
Right or wrong, just what we're feeling at the time. Now, ever since he's entered office, it's been scandal after scandal after scandal.
Yeah.
Like, there's just been so many crazy stories to where I thought I would never be surprised by a Rob Ford headline. And then what happened, fellas?
Make crack like this.
It's the 10 crack commandments. What?
I just figured his cut the waist challenge should have been way easier.
See, now, when this story broke for me, I had two really quick questions. What crack dealer that has the mayor of Toronto on their roster, why would you mess that up? Doesn't that seem like a good clientele for you to have?
That guy has obviously not watched The Wire.
That's a good get.
That's a good, yeah.
Rich as hell.
Yeah, what's
take
your
my
problem?
parking tickets and just dance in the city hall like, what, motherfucker?
Yeah, you have municipal immunity to do whatever the fuck you want. That's amazing.
God. What would you do if you had municipal immunity in Toronto? Like, what if you had the mayor like on a shoestring because he's on your crack?
I would just randomly. I would just borrow cop cars and drive them around. That'd be fucking awesome.
Nice.
I don't know why I'm more intrigued by the crack dealer than I am about Rob Ford. Maybe it's because I've just resided to the fact that Rob Ford's a moron.
Yeah.
But I also want to know what crack dealer goes to a newspaper with proof that they're a crack dealer.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Secondly,
a touchy subject.
The whole story just seems so weird because from so many different angles, right?
people saying that like the Toronto Star is losing credibility as like, you know, a newsworthy source when they're like fucking with some rumors and shit.
Well, no,
like,
see, but that's the thing is that like they're acting like it's Toronto Star that has it out for them, and they're sort of.
But why would Gawker?
Well, exactly. Why would Gawker? Why would all these other ones? And Gawker has no axe to grind.
No.
You know, like they didn't even know who he was. They're like,
No.
oh, he's a fat mayor who fell over and he played football and like
Walked
he
into
a camera and was ass grabbed. It's like they've seen the video.
Yeah.
You know, like they're like, oh no, it's absolutely him. He called Justin Trudeau a fag.
Yeah.
You know, like no, like it is absolutely him. We would not write on it if it wasn't the case.
Yeah.
We
and
want
that's-
this video. We're gonna start a friggin' crack starter for it. We have $200,000.
I will back you up.
And that's the part that sort of I don't really understand. Like, yeah, he could have been paid off as Somali crack dealer. Shout out to Somali crack dealers. Bro.
Shout out.
Small.
Shout
Sorry,
out.
I can't
Get that
the
money.
thought of the dude on CP24. I can't get
Yeah.
that out of my mind. That's the funniest thing I've seen.
Let's be honest. Okay, let's be honest here.
No.
The tape's not gonna fucking come out.
There is no
What
tape.
happened?
There is no
You
tape.
don't
What
think
happened?
there's a tape?
I don't think there's a tape. I just think it's fucking hilarious because yes, I could picture Rob Ford
Smoking
crack. I could picture him staying up all night, blowing rails. Like I
Yeah.
can picture him like he's the kind of guy that would like crush up the E and snort it. You know what I'm saying?
no,
You know that
he's
guy?
that kind of guy.
He's that
This is
kind of
what
guy.
I- all right,
oh
so-
my
The thing
god.
that I don't get about this too is like every time the question comes up in the press conferences, he doesn't say no. He says like no comment
That's
or whatever.
ridiculous.
Like if you
It's
ask me right now,
ridiculous.
hey Sean, do you smoke crack? No.
Never have, never will.
Yeah.
And it took
Yeah.
the man 8 days to come out and be like to say anything.
Say anything.
That's
and
the
he,
thing
and he
that's
didn't
messed up.
say I've never smoked crack. He says I don't smoke crack and I'm not addicted to crack. Honest question, and I don't know the answer. And like all signs point to he's doing a terrible job, but is he doing a good job? I don't know.
No.
I don't know enough about
He
municipal
claims
politics
he's
to be
saving
honest.
taxpayers
not.
$65 million.
You can't say that I'm going to cut a bunch of taxes, cut a bunch of social programs, and then turn around and be like, hey, look how much money I have.
Yeah.
If I don't bathe and wash myself and buy clothes and buy toothpaste and buy stuff, and then I'm like, hey, look how much money I save. Yeah, but I'm a fucking slob. Like, what sense does that make, right? Like, that math doesn't add up.
It doesn't.
So he comes up all the time and saying, hey, look at all these great numbers I got. It's like, well, the gardener's falling apart.
Gardner
dude.
has
Killed the
like-
poor.
Yeah, like there's no free pools anymore. There's no
R.I.P.
this, there's no
squeegee
that. It's
kids.
like great.
I do think that spending can get out of control, and every once in a while, it's good for someone to come in and sort of clean up and just be like, we're spending nothing. Everyone fucking deal with it for a little bit, but you hope that person who's saying that is smoking crack cocaine.
Yeah,
For sure.
let's all root back to crack cocaine. Fuck all the taxes he saved us. You smoke crack. You should not be allowed to run the city.
This has to be the nail in the coffin. It's over. Whether, like, if he has any sort of class by any stretch of the imagination, the fact that people are jumping ship really tells
Yeah.
you a lot about
Yeah.
about the situation.
His staff is dropping like flies every single day.
I think
He's
that
gonna be
tells
left
you a
with
lot
like,
about the
it's gonna be left with
situation,
him, Doug, a monkey, and that fucking shit. Remember Homer had
IKEA
the,
monkey?
Homer had the
The
shit,
bird,
the
yeah.
bird, and it's just like hitting buttons. That's all that's gonna be left in Rob Ford's office. He's gonna have no staff left.
But
One
Dougie
of the
Fresh.
one of the millions of articles that have come out over the past 2 weeks of this Robapalooza
Yeah.
is about Big Brother Doug, about him being a trap star back in the 80s.
Trapping
Wow.
since '86. RY Drifters.
I found this crazy, and it might be just piling on the Ford family. But in that Globe and Mail article, it alleges that Doug Ford was a big-time hash dealer in Etobicoke in the mid to late 80s,
Royal
and
New York
also
Plaza.
decided to throw in that Rob Ford's sister allegedly had ties to the KKK.
Wow.
To me, this is like just like I found this amusing because it's like you're piling on at this point.
Yeah.
And again, to me, it's a distraction from the fact that he's just a terrible mayor. Anyways.
Yeah.
What did you guys think?
I thought, first of all, why the fuck is he still in office right now? Why are both Doug and Rob still in office? With all this going on.
Well, Doug didn't do anything.
Doug was trapping since '86. That counts for something.
No, he sold drugs apparently when he was 22 years old.
Yeah, so did Hove. And
Don't get me
Hove did
wrong.
that. So hopefully he didn't have to go through that.
Exactly.
But he did it. He did it. And then
Exactly.
he ran. I think Doug's case should be opened up on these RY drifters from '86. I think you slipped through the cracks like Marlo Stanfield.